Greetings everyone, my name is Jonathan Bailey and I'm from the website Plagiarism Today, which can be found at plagiarismtoday.com. Happy Friday everyone, hope you're looking forward to your weekend, very excited myself, got some plans. But today is Friday, as I just kind of mentioned, so no copyright or plagiarism news day, time to take a day off and talk about tech and things that are on my mind with technology. And honestly, I usually talk about browsers in this segment, but lately I haven't been. And the reason I haven't been, to be completely honest, is some computer issues. I love testing and playing with browsers, but it really hasn't been a very fun process lately, nothing for me to get excited about. The reason is that ever since I upgraded to Mountain Lion, which by the way, overall I do love Mountain Lion for the record, but ever since I upgraded to Mountain Lion on my Mac, the browsers, frankly, have not been running very good, and it's none of them. Google Chrome, Safari 6, Firefox, even Opera to a degree. I've been able to have some success with like OmniWeb and a few browsers like that, but I don't really think talking about OmniWeb is going to make me super relevant here. But anyways, the reason is I ran some tests, and it turns out that Mountain Lion basically it bumps up at RAM usage that one little bit, and it puts my Mac in particular, which was kind of borderline beforehand, in the category where it pretty much needs a RAM upgrade. And I'm a little frustrated. It's a brand new laptop. It's the late 2011 model. Comes with 4 gigs, and it already needs an upgrade. And it's just, it goes to show, and it gives a little credence to the people who complain that Macs are underpowered and overpriced. And indeed, I have to agree they actually are. I have my reasons for buying Mac, but I have to agree that is a fault with them. Well, anyways, I decided I was going to have to bite the bullet on it, and honestly, I had this weird, now in hindsight, very stupid impression that the unibody Macs were not the RAM could not be upgraded by the user or had to be taken to the Apple Store. And so I bit the bullet yesterday and called the Apple line, forgot what number I called, but anyways, and they basically told me, hey, we can ship you the RAM. And I didn't realize it was user upgradable. If I had known it was user upgradable, I probably would have done it, a long time ago. I feel kind of daft right now. Because usually when I get a new computer, the first thing I do is get it home and take it apart. Every desktop I've gotten, even most of the laptops I've gotten, including the Mac Mini I purchased, that was like the first thing I did was I got it home and I started tinkering with it. And I'm very comfortable doing computer upgrades. I even upgraded the RAM on said Mac Mini, which is hilarious because that's the only computer upgrade where a painter's trowel is actually required. There's no other way to get into the case. I'm not making this up, actually. You can look it up. But anyways, decided, so he's like, oh yeah, we can ship you the RAM, and he gave me an estimate, I'm not lying about this, of $200 for an 8 gigabyte kit. And I'm just like, I think I can do a little better, and indeed I could. I looked it up, found the correct memory on Crucial.com, purchased it for $45 for an 8 gig kit. But I did that after looking up the Mac official specs and making sure everything was in order. But this morning I found out that the official specs on my computer, like I said, the late 2011 MacBook Pro, is a bit of a fib. It turns out that even though Apple says and only sells up to an 8 gig kit, it can actually run, read, and take 16 gigs without significant problem. And that's really souring me a little bit, Apple. It's a sour apple. Yes, that's what we'll run with. And the reason is this. I'm going to go through the trouble of having RAM shipped to me from anywhere, whether it's from Apple, Crucial, or anyone else, having it shipped to me, flipping this Mac over, undoing the 10 tiny-ass screws that are underneath it, taking out the RAM, putting the new RAM in, sealing it back up, testing the RAM. If I'm going to go through all this trouble, I might as well just bump it up and max it out. There's no reason to go halfway. I should be like Spinal Tap says, taking it to 11. There's no reason to be screwing around with 8 gigs. Granted, 8 gigs is probably more than enough. And in fact, the test I did says that 8 gigs is probably right around perfect. So I'm not terribly upset to be getting an upgrade to 8, but I really just would like to go ahead and end it, the upgrade question. Basically, put it back together and go, well, never going to have to do this again with this computer, no matter what. That's as far as it goes. Of course, that is unless I put an SSD in it, but that's a totally separate issue. But no, it'd be nice to be able to seal it back up and then have the comfort of knowing I'll never have to do this upgrade again. And indeed, that's not going to be the case. Talked it over with Crystal. We just kind of decided we'll run with the 8 gig for a while, see if it works. If it improves it and there's no heartburn, no need for the 16 gig, we'll let it go. And there probably won't be realistically, but it's frustrating. So it's like a 1-2 punch from Apple for me. They tried to sell me RAM that was 4 times overpriced, and then their official specs were highly misleading about how much RAM my computer could take. Something you would think they would really know. So yeah, the trust in Apple dropped, and I'm really glad I don't have Apple Care and that my extended warranties with Best Buy right now. Yeah, they're not perfect either, but at least, I have a little more confidence that they'll replace the computer if needed, because they've already done it once before. That's how I got this one. So anyways, that's all right now. I'm hoping to get that memory in a couple of days. When I get it, I will pop it in, and I'll probably next Friday, if it's all installed by then, have a wrap-up of how the browsers are performing with proper memory in the Mac. So until then, though, until next week, until Monday when we get back on copyright, this is Jonathan Bailey, signing off.